Hello, good morning. It's another beautiful Friday morning out there, and I'm here today on the Mirror with Beauty Benjamin. We'll talk about the mirror. You know what the mirror stands for? When you look at yourself after dressing up, and you take a look at yourself in the mirror, there are a lot of things you will find out that it's not been properly done. Maybe your hair, maybe your powder, maybe your makeup, maybe your dressing. And so the mirror takes time to criticize you and tells you that, oh, you're not probably done here. And so take a look at it and make corrections. That's what the mirror does. And so every Friday, the mirror comes to you from the station live at 10 a.m. with exciting, debating topic. Do you want to be on the mirror? Do you think you have what it takes to be on this seat? Now today, we'll be looking at what we call school now scam. We've often heard these words from our young people, our young ones, and you begin to wonder, what do they mean by school now scam? Is it that you have to learn a skill, or is it that you have to be educated only academically, or is it that you have to do illegal things? What is the phrase school now scam, and why the phrase school now scam? I want to take a look at someone before I introduce my guest this morning. We recently celebrated a footballer, which we all know in Nigeria, Michel Alozie. Let me give you a little something to work with this morning. Michel has a dual identity, as in skill, academic, and skill. She is a footballer. Now, she's a powerful message, especially for Nigerian and African youth. In cultures, we have Michel. Now, she has hinted that post-football, she plans to pursue medical research full-time. That's what she wants to do later. But today, we know that she has emphasized how science gives her purpose beyond football, and that she's committed to making an impact in healthcare, especially in undeserved communities. She works part-time in this role while playing football professionally, showing exceptional time management and commitment to both passion. She's playing football and she's also practicing in a medical where she's passionate about. So it's not that she's doing one, she's doing the both. And she's making money from the both. And she is a young Nigerian. So don't say, I cannot do one, I can do two. Oh, you can do one. Or can't you do one? All of these questions you have, keep it down. I want you to meet my guest this morning to talk about the, okay, now we have on the screen now. That is Michel. Now, you can see beneath the jacket, the lab coat, there is a jersey showing that I am doing two, I'm carrying two. She's young and she's passionate about the both. We see her on the field, which she's contributing massively to the good. This goal. I mean, there's a whole list of goals she has scored in this how many years she has been there. You can see both, and she's young. How old is it? So now, in school, scam or not? We made this morning talk about this. My name is Beauty Benjamin, and this is the Mirror Beauty Benjamin. You're live on RSTV online. You can watch us online. You can stream. You can join us on YouTube. You can join us on Facebook. This morning, I have with me first on my right here, Professor Y.E. Chad-Umoren, Department Physics, Faculty, Science, University of Port Harcourt. He is the founder, organizer, Generation Next Enterprise, an organization dedicated to preparing the next generations for greatness, organizer of the Academic Excellence Seminars. I have known him for years. He is passionate about education, about grooming people, about training. He has written, if I want to run his profile here, it will take like 1 hour because it's very lengthy. He has written a lot of books that I know. He has mentored a lot. And don't also forget, he is a dedicated pastor. Yes, you heard me that right. So we are not talking about just Michel now who is doing that. He's doing both. He's a husband, he's a father, he's a pastor, he's all. and is in the business of molding, of teaching, organizing. So he's going to break it down for us to do what we mean. And I also have, Prof, you're welcome.
Thank you so much, viewers. Thank you so much.
It's good. And a quick reminder, he's been on the show before. Yes, he's one of my old-time guests on the Mirror. Yes, thank you, sir, for coming again.
Thank you for inviting me again.
Thank you. And I also have with me here on my left here, David Igonoh, PhD student, Physics, University of Port Harcourt. David, you're welcome.
Thank you so much.
It's good to have you.
It's a pleasure. Thank you.
So, sir, Prof,
Yes.
school na scam. Me, you know, it came about balancing it.
Yeah.
Like I was talking behind the camera, I was supposed to have a guest here who is a graduate, a young graduate, who believe that school na scam. Because she's like, I've paid my dues.
Yeah.
I've been trained.
Yeah.
I have served the nation 1 year.
Yeah.
And I've come out of service.
Yeah.
What does the nation owe me to give me a job? And the nation is not forthcoming.
Yeah.
And I've been idle for the past 2 years, now going to 3 years.
Yeah.
Every time I write an application to somewhere, they say, oh, they see my CV, in her words, beautiful. And the next thing they're checking for experience, work experience. And she's like, how am I going to get work experience when I've not been given opportunity to serve? So she said school na scam. I wish I can call her on the front of the phone, but what do you think, sir? Let's hear from you.
All right. Again, thank you so very much for inviting me. And then, well, a professor cannot agree that school na scam.
I thought that's not. I thought that's not.
Otherwise, I won't be a professor.
Yes, yes.
That's number one.
Yes.
Number two, a pastor cannot agree that school na scam.
Yes.
Because I had to go to Bible school as well.
Yes.
You know, so, but importantly, I think I understand where such people are coming from. Because even currently, both my current students, those that have graduated, a number of them are of this opinion. But I'd like to define a few terms.
Okay.
Number one, education. What's education? Education is simply the process of training, the process of learning, the process of transferring skill, of acquiring skill, acquiring knowledge, acquiring values, habits, character molding, and so on. What's a school? A school is simply the place where this, education takes place. A school can be formal, like the university, college of education, polytechnic. Can be non-formal, like somebody going for training as a mechanic, as a seamstress, designer, and it can be informal. Every day you go out, you gain some experience. So all of this. But when people say school na scam, it has to do with the formal setup. And what's a scam? A scam simply means something that is done with intent to deceive, intent to defraud, intent to take undue advantage. And therefore, how do we see school as a scam? I'll just make one or two comments, and then since this is, maybe other questions will come up. Now, why would somebody see a school as a scam? Like I said, I understand where they're coming from. Like the young lady just mentioned, unemployment. Because the school system seems to promise more than it is delivering.
Yeah.
A young person goes to primary school, spends 6 years, minus nursery and crèche. 6 years in primary school, secondary school 6 years, 12 years. Goes to university, maybe 4-year program, 16 years. Then
compulsory 1 year in service.
Youth service, 17 years. Now, so this young person comes out, so much expectations, so many dreams and desires in their hearts. And so they said, okay, I have a degree. Now I've been positioned to do something for myself and for my parents, because for many of them, their parents had to go through a lot,
Yeah.
to get them into school. And so this young person comes out, writes applications like the case you just mentioned, and every door they knock on refuse to open. Or even when the door opens and they look at you and they say, yes, who are you? Say, I'm looking for a job. They say, okay, you're welcome. Like in our society.
Yeah.
Where's the no, not even the resume. Where's your introduction, your letter of introduction? Who wrote your letter of introduction? Which politician? Which person in the National Assembly? Which person is some...
Who is recommending you?
Who is recommending you? And they don't have anybody. And that happens again and again. Of course, for such a young person, the person is kind of thinking that school is a scam. Because they have gone through a lot only to arrive at this point where their dreams and their hopes are shattered. I mean, maybe... So that is why many believe that school is a scam. Now, another reason maybe one can mention is underemployment. What's underemployment? Underemployment is a situation where somebody is so highly skilled, but does the kind of work that does not require any skill.
At all.
Job that is not commensurate with the kind of level of training.
And you're also being underpaid?
In fact, this week, I drove into a filling station to buy fuel, and I saw a young lady there. I was like, what are you doing here? And she says, well, sir, I'm working here. She's a petrol attendant, I know her very well. She has a good first degree, but she's doing the work of petrol. What skill does it require? It doesn't require any skill. And so for such people, they believe that school is a scam. Maybe the third one, and then we'll conclude on this aspect. The third one is simply the fact that what I would like to call the scandalous reward system. The scandalous reward system in our society. How do I mean by the scandalous reward system? Because our societies tend to reward certain categories of people. I don't want to mention the name of this, what we call now, that people gather in a house and then they do something.
Their own business, internet fraud.
Not even that. This other people or something. I didn't want to, Now, and at the end of the certain number of weeks or so that they spend there, somebody comes out and says the winner and goes home with millions. Meanwhile, a young person that have gone through 5 years of engineering program makes a first class, or even if not engineering, 4-year degree program, makes a first class, and all we do on that day, the Vice Chancellor gives the person a handshake.
Privileged to have it.
All the intellectual output not recognized. And so, for such people, school is a scam because it promises so much but delivers so little or nothing. That's why many think it is a scam.
Like a week ago or two, the Super Falcons, which Nature was a part of, won their match, retained their position, and then we saw the fabulous rewards that came from both the federal government, state governments, and all that. Last week, we saw the Tigress also won. We saw the fabulous rewards, even from the Zenith Bank manager. Now, you have, just like you have mentioned, an engineering graduates or medical students or in that field who have come out, also graduated. Like I talk about it on this table, I said, look, let there be a fair ground. I am doing my job in my own field. You're doing your job in your own field. If you're sharing, share it equal. So don't have this biasness that, oh, because I'm not playing football or whatnot. Because at the end of the day, you see people tilting to one side. Now, school now scam. You see someone who graduated as an engineer without, just a handshake. So what makes me, why will I not just forget about school and just quickly go and pick up even if it's a football or a basketball or something, I say, look, I'm not interested. School now scam. Let me lean on to this skill. Will I be doing something out of place? So what do you think?
All right, thank you so much. I am a supporter of the fact that school is not scam.
Okay.
And I would like to support that motion to the end. When I finished my first degree, I was the best student in my department, and I was given an award of 5,000 naira.
Hey!
Things have changed.
That was how many years ago? Prof.
I was feeling 15.
things have improved. Yeah, go
All
on.
right, so
Yeah.
and then I was promised an award certificate.
Yeah.
Today I have not gotten from the university. So, but then I still believe that school is not a scam.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because success is not a promise.
Yeah.
It's something you work on from one process to another. So I will really want to see that school is not a scam, and then I'll take it off from there.
Okay.
At all.
Yeah.
We have this internet fraudsters,
Yeah.
which is where this phrase
Yeah,
came from. Now, I'm trying to put myself in the position of my other guest who is not here.
Yeah.
I've searched, I've paid my dues, like they say, and I was not given a job. What then do I stand to gain? And then I see maybe a classmate from secondary school who I know was not very bright,
Yeah.
and then I'm walking on the streets, and then someone is spilling water on me, and I stop, he wind down and say, and I'm like, hello, and he said, man, I've made it. We have conversation
Yeah.
and all that. These people gathered. I was saying this yesterday. If you go to restaurants, the food are expensive now.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Food are expensive because there are this group of people
Yes.
who patronize them. They don't cook.
Okay.
They just stay indoors where they are doing their business,
And they
getting their
order
money,
food.
and they order. So when they come to buy, they don't care how much you sell it.
Yes.
All the ones that they want the food.
Yeah.
And so these people now assume that all of us have the same amount of money. So if they're selling to you for 1,000, I'll also buy 1,000.
Yeah.
If I don't want to buy, I can leave and go.
Yeah.
These people don't want to work. They don't also want to learn a skill, because if you say you're not doing academic work, you can learn a skill.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can learn a skill.
Yeah.
Alternatively, this can also serve as a pathway for your success.
Yeah.
But the skill, someone often told me that a boy he took from Edo State to Port Harcourt to live with, and she had trained the boy up to, the boy has stayed like with her for like 3 or 4 years. The mother paid transport down to Port Harcourt and took the boy, and she's like, where? They said his mates are already cashing out back home, and she was going to enroll him in the school where they make how to make money. They just use their phone.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
And he said, look, he's my son. You don't have a right over him.
Yeah.
And she took the son. And so she called the husband. I was like, your wife has just picked your son. And the woman was like, why? He said she's going to enroll him for
Yes.
school back home where they're making money. And the man was furious, was angry. He said the first son is a waste, is lying up in an uncompleted building. The daughter is a waste, and this is the only one he had hope on. And you have picked him. He said his mate have already bought a machine and buses for their parents at home, going to put him in the school. These are the people who say school now. So I'm trying to balance it now.
Yeah.
If I go to school and I come out, no job, and I see my friend who did not go, who we started primary school together, who stopped, who did not continue, but making money, what stopped me from joining the person in the business?
Yeah. What should stop you from joining? Yeah. Well, I know, particularly for young people are very, very impressionable. Young people, peer pressure, societal pressure. If A and B started out together, like the scenario we just painted now, and A is doing very well in terms of societal evaluation, and B is not, particularly when pressure comes not just from society, not just from peers, but from a parent, then it becomes very difficult for B, that kind of young person, to withstand the pressure. But irrespective of where somebody's mates have gone using fraudulent means, it still is no reason why this person should join them. Why?
You can't beat them, join them.
Yeah, if you can't beat them, find a way to beat them. Yes,
you can be different.
Yes, you can be different. Oh yes, you can dare to be different.
Okay.
That's why, I actually asked David to come.
Okay.
Yes, because the point is this: it's not enough to talk about, oh, school is not a scam. We must have people who are living proof that indeed school is not a scam.
Okay.
Because it's not only until the government employs you, it's not only until a company employs you, you can do something with your degree, for instance. You can, even if that degree is not paying, you can learn a skill that you can now use, not the fraudulent skill. There's so many things today in the digital world, ICT, web design, coding, and so on and so forth. Or even at that, there's one of my students, she's in the final year now, doing physics. She told me that when she was in secondary school, she had gone online to learn import and export business. And she was importing things from China, making a lot of money. So there is never any excuse for anybody to say, okay, because my friends are making fraudulently and I'm not able to make it legitimately, let me therefore, no. There's always something an individual can do in terms of learning some legitimate skill and using it.
Okay, now before I go to the role of parents and the role of the university, David, let me come to you now. You as a product of school, not the scam. Tell us, let's know. Because someone wants to hear why you want to say school is not a scam. Okay. How has it bettered you? What have you benefited? Why do you stand to say that school is no scam?
Okay, like I mentioned earlier, that success is not a promise. It's a product of the efforts you are willing to make to achieve success. And the truth is that there is no justifiable reason for any act of evil. What is bad is bad. What is fraud is fraud. And I believe that the end of a thing justifies the trueness of what is being done. And if you look at those who go through the path of scamming and all of that, the end is always disastrous, because the law of nature always acts.
Yeah, the Bible says that also.
Yes. So now for me as a person, I have believed that beyond going to school, there is something I could do with my purpose. I began to write a book when I was in 2011. My first book was out in 2011.
Okay.
And it was on academic excellence. And while I finished school, that book was selling.
Okay.
Along the line, I wrote this company again, making the right career choice, so which has worked. So now I like to say that school itself does not guarantee you or make you a promise that you are going to be employed in this place, get a big job, become successful because you went to do a 4-year degree or 5-year degree in the university. No. What is satisfied guarantee is that you are now certified both in character and in learning to face the society. Okay. So what you do with the school is now on you. So, and for me, when I finished, went to youth service, I believe you have to do something somewhere, so I have to work in the school. Before I finished from the school there, because while I was serving, I was also making a part among young people, because that's what I wanted. So I was speaking to students, guiding them through purpose, through academic excellence, and then in school, a big school found me, and I didn't have to apply. They asked me to come and work for them. So I began from there. Even while I was there, my professor, Professor Joseph Ebinero, also recommended me to a friend of his in Ireland who asked me to come and work for him, but I chose at that time to work in his school because I wanted to make impact. And from there onwards, I didn't have to apply for a job. So I was called from one point to another. At the point, I began to also do business on my own. So life affords us as we move and we are willing to develop from one stage of life to another. Life will afford you the opportunity to pick up something can better your life. I'd like to give reference to a lady that was mentioned, and not very particular. Now, there's no bad place to start actually. The point is that you are willing to build experience, because at the end, if you are going for a secular job, there was experience. So it's important to begin from somewhere. Someone know that you have done something in the past that you can build on the current job you are in. So in sum, I like to say that once you are in this life, you have a lot of things to confront. The challenge of the economy, the political system and all. But you have to make up your mind that you have to make headway regardless of what you face at the moment.
Okay, Prof,
Yeah.
what is the role of parents? Because in all of this now, parents play a role.
Yeah.
The university play a role. The church play a role. And you are in all of this
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
What is the role of these three?
Okay, as the parent,
The university and the
university
church.
and the church. Yeah. Let me start with the parent. Of course, every parent that sends his or her child to school expects that that child will come out and then, even if come out and stand well in society.
Exactly.
And for many Nigerian families, when the first child, for instance, or one of the children is trained, it's expected that that one, when they come out, will get a job and then will help the family, help the ones that are coming behind. And when that does not happen, as in the cases that we're discussing here now, when a child comes out and does not immediately get a job, parents feel disappointed. The child himself feels bad that he's not able to at least do what is expected of him. And so now pressure can come from the parents. Your mates are doing this,
Yeah.
your mates are doing that. What are you doing? Now, what I would like to say here for parents is that they had started by making that sacrifice. Let them not lose hope. Let them not put pressure on their children to go and do what is not right. Because if something bad, and when something bad, not just if, when something eventually bad happens to that child, the parents are going to feel the pain as well. And so what I would like to say, encourage parents, yes, it's not quite easy, for a parent, but the parent should remain, should remain hopeful, should remain, should I say, prayerful as well. Yes. I know somebody might say our society will pray too much.
No, we do. We do a lot of prayers in Africa, yes.
Let me say this as well. Now, the parents can keep on encouraging their child. And then if the parents also have contacts they can make for their child, they should go ahead and make those contacts, for their children, but they should never push their children into something wrong. Now, for the university will have to do something about the curriculum.
Okay.
Yes, the funding. Because, for instance, for the kind of course I teach, or not just the course I teach, or the courses I teach, if you're in the sciences, it's not just enough to hear the theory. You must see, you must practice.
Practicalize it.
Exactly. And so, funding is very, very important in this matter in terms of making the resources, the infrastructure available, so that people don't just learn theory, but they also learn the practical aspect. And then universities should go on also and begin to do some things on the teaching about entrepreneurship. Letting the young people know that when you finish, like David said, the university has prepared you not just to go and write letters and be moving around looking for a job. For me, one of the key things that education should do is help people think.
Yes.
Help people learn to think.
Yes.
Now, let me give you this example from, what's his name now, William Shakespeare. his book Julius Caesar.
Caesar.
Caesar made a comment about Cassius. He said, young Cassius has a lean and hungry look. Besides, he thinks too much. Such men are dangerous.
Yes.
Cassius was not dangerous because he had a lean and hungry look. Cassius was dangerous because he had the capacity to think.
To think.
And one distinguishing thing about anybody that has gone through the 4 years of university, for instance, should be the capacity to think.
Yes.
The capacity to critical thinking, problem solving, independent thinking, so that when you come out and you realize that, well, I applied to the oil industry, I didn't get anything. I applied to a government organization, I didn't get anything. I applied to some company, I didn't get anything. I have this knowledge. What can I do with my skills? So the university must begin to emphasize that. That look, yes, we have trained you, you could get a job, but beyond getting a job, think of what you can do with your life and with your skill, with the knowledge that you're. I mean, you go through 4 years of physics, for instance. What did you learn in the physics? You go through 4 years of adult education. What did you learn in the adult education that you can apply? We went through 4 years of maybe anything at all. Let's even leave engineering. Let's come to, we went through 4 years of biology, of chemistry. What can you do with your biology, with your chemistry?
Knowledge.
You know, so the university must begin to emphasize that, and of course the church has always done, you know, greatly, because the church, you know, is there to act, you know, help us spiritually, and so the church can also, you know, do the same thing in terms of organizing programs. Apart from spiritual issues, the church can also, for their members, organize skill acquisition training, entrepreneurship training, and then perhaps from time to time look out for their members that are skilled, what I'm going to do, and then make some funds available for them to start some business and have mentors, you know, mentor them, because in many churches you have highly educated, enlightened, and skilled people. People in the bank industry, oil and gas industry, different professions, businessmen and women. So the church can pull these people together and get their young members to be mentored by, you know, such other people. And then, well, maybe let me also say this, because for me, it's not enough to complain about what is wrong in the society. It's very important that every one of us who have observed, we should do something. Maybe towards the end, I might talk about some of the things that we are doing while we are there in the university, you know.
Okay, but I think we should just, because, you know, one thing about this program is that time.
Okay.
It will seem as though we have like 1 week, and before you know, like as I'm seeing on the screen there, it's telling me I have less than 10 minutes to run off, and so yes, so you begin to wonder, it's never enough. So what I do sometimes, like when I bring some guests, and we see that this discussion is interesting, is intriguing, we later eat. Okay, we're having this as episode 1. And so we look forward to episode 2, because someone out there is benefiting.
No, I'm really.
And that is what we're talking about. How do we better our society? Miro is about getting the family right. If our family is right, we can get our society working.
Yes, of course.
The society begins at home.
Yes.
So, do you think the government has a role to play? Because the universities cannot function without government support and funds. During the curriculum now, you need the government. So how do we do this? Is the university going to do a proposal to the government, or or seek the government's approval? Or is that something that
No, of course. Many of the public universities are either, in fact not many, all the public universities are either state-owned or federal government-owned. And so the government plays a critical role in all of this. Of course, you're familiar with ASU and the strong
Yes,
federal
it's our
government.
customer.
So that is, so it's always talking about funding and so on and so forth. And so let me talk about how the state governments and the federal government, they have critical role to play. For instance, in the issue of infrastructural development. To make the infrastructure available, the buildings, the equipping of the buildings, the equipping of the universities and all of that, and then the redesigning of curriculum. So that curriculum now takes into cognizance the changing dynamics of society.
Okay.
You can't keep teaching typewriting and then shorthand in this century.
Technology has evolved.
Yes, you need to, as many as possible, need to be taught digital literacy, need to have digital literacy. We need to begin to teach our children entrepreneurship. I mentioned that this is federal government, prerogative, because the curriculum, the university can develop curriculum, but NUC will have to approve that. Okay, this is, right there. And then also, I mentioned entrepreneurship, digital literacy, financial literacy. People will begin to be taught all of these things. So federal government has to fund the universities very well, because you see, the federal government has a big role because they own most of these, many of these universities.
Exactly.
And it is whatever the federal government does, that many of the state governments, instead of building more universities, which for me is not bad, if we can equip them, because I was looking at the statistics. China, India, the US, South Africa, I was looking at their population and the number of universities in each of those countries, but the statistics I'll give some other time.
So if we build all of this, and we don't build the mind of the students, are we working? How do we build the minds of the students? Now, the federal government will do a proposal, will do this, will do that, all that. The people, the human beings that also, how do we build them? How do we prepare them to embrace this evolving trend?
Thank you so much. First, I'd like to say that the essence of school is to transition you from your crude state to your refined state. And one thing I believe that, and that's why I know that systems like the academic excellence seminars comes in, because Prof runs programs like the seminars. So that is designed to form the minds of students. I was his pioneer, a product of that program, and that has helped me over the years. So, systems like this can help refine, and programs like this too help to reset the minds of students. That man, out there's no guarantee that there's a job. I have to make up my mind to get a skill while I'm in school. So, as I'm finishing school, while I'm in school, I'm making money. I know of a student who works for Prof. I got in touch with him yesterday, and I have video works for him to edit for me. And then on a monthly basis, I'm able to give him an allowance for the work he's doing. But he's still a student. So why you are a student in school, know that promise of a job is not a guarantee when you finish school. So prepare your mind that I need to learn a skill, think of what you can do with your life, think of a business you can run while you are waiting for your dream job. Because school does not promise you a job at the end, but they promise you the possibilities of doing things that can make you success.
Okay, Prof. Now, as we wrap up the program, now what's your final word? Now, what's your advice to people, to everybody that
Yes, number one, school is not a scam and will never be a scam. Governments globally are investing heavily in education. If school was a scam, America, China, India
will not invest.
They will not invest so much. Sometimes people use Bill Gates.
Yes, I think I missed that. Yes.
Bill Gates dropped out of school
and is
doing well today. We must understand that Bill Gates did not drop out of school because he failed. Bill Gates left school because he was so passionate about Microsoft.
Yes.
So it wasn't an question of intellectual inability. No. George was so passionate about Microsoft, so he had to leave. Now, that's number one. Number two about Bill Gates. What about his daughters? Bill Gates has ensured that all his daughters have passed through the university. The third thing about Bill Gates is the fact that Bill Gates is investing so much in education globally. Number 4, yes, Bill Gates and people who left school without having degrees are doing well today, but those are exceptions, not the norm. And so, as many as have the opportunity to go to school, please go to school. The sacrifice you need to make, when I say sacrifice, I'm not talking about Yahoo Plus.
Yeah.
I'm talking about legitimate, leaving something to go to acquire something good, okay? So, focus on your studies. I don't know if I still have Jesus says something, if you permit me to quote the scripture.
okay, let's do 1 minute, yes.
Okay. Matthew chapter 20, verses 1 to 7. He came, just told about a man who went out very early in the morning to hire people to come and work. And then in the 11th hour, he went and saw these other people and said, friends, why are you standing idle, doing nothing? And what was their response? Very sad response. They said, oh, nobody has hired us. So because nobody has hired you, you can't hire yourself. Because society does not want to make you useful, so to speak. So you must take responsibility for your life. Take responsibility for your future. In spite of circumstance, don't get involved in fraud. Take responsibility for your life. Do something with your knowledge. Thank you.
And you heard it right from here. The mirror would be to Benjamin. Take responsibility for yourself. If the society does not respect or guarantee you that desired future or desired life that you want, you are responsible for yourself. The university only grooms you and tells you, look, in character and in learning, they give you the tools, but you can, yes, you can do for yourself what they can't do for you. So school is not a scam. You heard it from the Prof, Matt and David. Thank you so much for this week's episode of the Mirror Beauty Benjamin. It's been exciting. I hope you've learned something. Now, don't just keep watching. The program is online. Watch it and then over and over again. And if you want to be on this program, just come to my DM. Tell me if you have what it takes to be on this program. Of course, we'll always oblige you that opportunity. Always follow us every Friday at 10 a.m. of the station. I am Beauty Benjamin. Thanks so much, Prof, for having you.
Thank you
It's
for
my
inviting us.
Thank you, David, for having
Thank you
me.
so much. It's my pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you. And from us here, I say thank you. Thank you to the OD, Donubari. Thank you, Morrison, for everyone working behind the camera to make this program a success today. Thank you, and have a lovely weekend. I'll see you on the Mirror next week, Friday.